Look in my eyes and tell me what you see. Here's a hint, it's not the cult of personality. Coming up in Bethea's Byte, you're going to see why these eyes are full of anger and full of rage. Here's a hint, I'm following up with the Ferriter case. A shout out to Cat A Canary for the police report, and I got a good earful from J is for Justice, as Cat A Canary mentioned in the previous video. What did I find? What did I hear? What didn't I want to hear? Oh boy. You'll get all that and then some. And I'll give you my opinion as always. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a very disturbing case. And you'll get all the gory details when Bethea's Byte begins right now. And a good Wednesday afternoon to everybody. This is Ernest Bethea, the Last Outlaw, and this is Bethea's Byte, your home for news, opinions, debates, and your voice. So good to have everybody along for this ride. I am following up with the case against Tim and Tracy Ferriter. If you have been watching the last two videos I've done on this case, it is something that is very disturbing, ladies and gentlemen. First off, again, let me do a little house cleaning first, and then I'm gonna do my quick shout outs for this follow-up. First, the house cleaning. To all my subscribers, all 76 plus of you, thank you. You are the ones that make Bethea's Byte run. If you haven't subscribed yet and you're liking this and you like what you're seeing here in this video, please hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Ring that notification bell for future videos. Also, we got three other ways to check this out as well. I'll have this linked to my Bethea's Byte Facebook page. I will have this up on Twitter, and I will have this on my own Bethea'sByte.com message forum. Register, log in, drop a comment. Bottom line, no matter which way you do it, even if it's here on YouTube, I want to hear from you. Period. That takes care of the house cleaning. Now to the shout outs. First off, I got a good earful about this case from J J is for Justice podcast, so I shout out to you. Thank you for what you've done putting a spotlight on this case. And if it wasn't for one of my subscribers, Cat A Canary, I wouldn't be even talking about this right now. Talking about this in the depth that I'm talking about it right now. So Cat A Canary, shout out to you too. You also told me that I should have a bunch of tissues handy for what I read. Just to let you know, I'm literally over this case. I'm all cried out. I'm just angry. I'm just upset. Like I said in previous videos, this hits me in the heart. It tears my guts in two. What this young man, yes, I can say that. this young man had to endure at the hands of his parents. And for those of you who are just joining us on this case, you'll see why I put parents in air quotes, because honestly, what the Ferriters are accused of, no parent in their right minds would do anything like this. Now, what I have in front of me is the arrest affidavit for Tim Ferriter. I have the probable cause affidavit, and it breaks down in what I like to call gory detail what the cops found in Jupiter, Florida. And my God, if I didn't declare that I was all cried out, I'd likely be shedding tears on camera right now. I wish I could go through it all, but I would have a hard time being able to load up this video to YouTube. But it basically detailed everything I've heard from NBC News, everything I've read in from the Fox 13 website in Tampa Bay. Shout out to them. More details that I got from People Magazine. People Magazine even got in on this. It is absolutely disturbing. I mean, how? I mean, I've asked this in previous videos, but it bears repeating. Who does this? Really? I mean, I'm looking at this. I read it all over again. I'm thinking, nah, this can't be real. This can't be something that is happening now to a child. But as I read onward, it is showing that. I mean, listen to this redacted paragraph. On Wednesday, February 2nd, 2022, Detective Jordan and I traveled to the previous Ferriter residence located in meep. Of course, you're going to get that meep because it's redacted. In an attempt to make contact with the current owner. While there, we made contact with Sherry Lynch, a white female, who advised the following. Although she knew the Ferriters, she had never been inside of their residence, but said the current owners had noted a quote-unquote creepy room in the garage. A creepy room in the garage. When asked to expound further, Lynch stated the room was only able to be locked from the outside, and she only saw the walls, but stated the current owners had it removed. Lynch provided me with the current owner's name and phone number. After speaking with Lynch, I called the current owner, later identified as Anthony Tanona. I conducted a sworn recorded interview with Tanona, who confirmed there was a room in the garage he had removed because the room could only be locked from the outside, and he believed the room was made to keep someone inside of it. Tanona advised the realtor for the Ferriters to describe the room as a quote-unquote bonus room. Bonus room. However, when he was shown the room, it had a small child-sized bed with comforter. Tanona provided me with inspection documents for the residence, which showed photographs of the room. Although the Ferriters purchased a residence in 2014, it is known when the room in the garage was built for how long was locked inside. That last short beep, that's our victim, the 14-year-old. Goes without saying. And now here's where the here's where the thing that got me disgusted. On February 4th, 2022, again, this is from the affidavit. On February 4th, 2022, Beep was released from care at JFK North Medical Center and transported to the Child Protection Team for a forensic interview. Case coordinator Shelby Halas of the Child Protection Team conducted the interview. During the interview, Beep confirmed that he was made to stay locked in his bedroom in the garage, and further confirmed that it was an 8 foot by 8 foot space with a door that has a deadbolt and a doorknob lock that are both locked from the outside. Beep stated the longest he can recall being locked inside of the room was 18 hours. Let me stop right there and let me say this. Anybody, I don't care, man, woman, or child, locked in a room for 18 hours, that's straight up imprisonment. Oh, can I make it worse? Let me make it worse. Meep advised that he does not have a bathroom in his room. But stated he uses an orange Home Depot brand bucket to urinate and defecate in. At least prisoners that are actually locked up for crimes have better living conditions than that. One. And two, let me get closer let me get closer. One, oh, that's about as close as I can get. And two, let me get my big mic so you can all actually hear this. Those people deserve it. That kind of living situation is for those who committed crimes. What possibly could this young boy have done to deserve such treatment? Just getting that thought out there. Okay, back to business. Beep was asked about discipline during the interview, and he advised he has received spankings before, both with a leather belt and a jump rope. Beep stated the spankings would take place in his bedroom, and he would be naked, bent over his bed. Beep stated he could recall one spanking was so painful he fell off his bed in pain. Oh my God. Ladies and gentlemen, where I come from, there's spankings, there's whoopings, and then there's straight up abuse. What we have here crossed all those elements. Tim Ferriter went from discipline to torture, just like that. Based on the above described investigation, there is probable cause to believe the defendant, Timothy D. Ferriter, willfully tortured, maliciously punished, or willfully and unlawfully caged a child, contrary to FSS 827.031A and 2A. And based on the above described investigation, there is probable cause to believe the defendant, Timothy Ferriter, did forcibly, by threat or secretly confine, abduct, imprison, or restrain against that person's will and without lawful authority. So I bet you're wondering, I mentioned Tim. What about Tracy? Let me sum up Tracy in one short little statement. She allowed it to happen. She let it happen. There's no other explanation for it. I mentioned this in a previous video. One executes, the other steps by and lets it go. So when they go now, then they get the confrontation with the cops. One hides all the evidence. The other does it like a little shield. Both of them are equally responsible. Both of them are equal monsters. Both of them deserve every single bit of justice that the law can allow them, which is what I pray for. They deserve the book thrown at them. They deserve to be thrown under the jail the moment a guilty verdict is passed. Like I said just a little bit ago, no parent in their right minds would treat a child like this. And I made mention about this disorder that the child is going through, reactive associative disorder or something like that. The kid's adopted. Yeah. The kid has nobody to love them. Well, maybe the exception of his siblings. But that's not taking the place of a parent though. It's not taking the place of a parent. Instead of trying to form a bond with the child to show that child some love, what does he get? He gets abused. He gets tortured. He gets imprisoned. And for what? Because they can't form a bond with the child? Give me a break. It's a new environment for the child. And you dare treat that child like he's less than nothing. This is the reason I called you monsters out. I'm calling all the monsters all over the United States and the world. I'm calling you out because of stuff like this. If you're gonna treat a child you intend on adopting, if you're gonna treat a child like garbage, don't bother. Don't even bother taking up the mantle as foster parent. Don't do it. A child needs love. A child needs protection. A child needs guidance. Only a parent can give those three things. Anything less than that, you're a monster. I will say it until the day I stop breathing. If you're not giving your child any kind of love, if you're not protecting that child, and you're not giving that child any kind of guidance and direction for their lives heading forward, then you are a monster. Period. Now, from one set of monsters to another. This is a totally different story, yet it still sickens me when I read it. This was posted to Yahoo on 5 days ago, and let me tell you, when I say it sickens me, I don't say it just to say it. I mean, it sickens me. It's sick. Let me go ahead and forewarn you all. If you're eating, turn this off now. If you have a weak stomach, turn this off now. Because what I'm about to read next is sickening, and the monsters who did it, well, let's just say the book getting thrown at them, they deserve it. Let's get it. A former Louisiana middle school teacher has been sentenced to 40 years behind bars after admitting, oh boy, I wish I had my bottle of water with me when I read this. A former Louisiana middle school teacher has been sentenced to 40 years behind bars after admitting she fed students cupcakes laced with the sperm of her ex-husband, an ex-sheriff's lieutenant. Somebody please tell me who in their right mind does that? Cynthia Perkins was sentenced on last Friday, to 40 years of hard labor without the possibility of probation or parole. She accepted a plea bargain on Monday to charges that include second-degree rape, producing child pornography, and conspiracy mingling of harmful substances, according to the Louisiana Attorney General. The deal requires her cooperation against ex-husband Dennis Perkins, a former SWAT team commander for the Livingston Parish Sheriff's Office, scheduled to stand trial later this year. Cynthia Perkins admitted assisting her husband in sexually assaulting a juvenile, helping her husband film a juvenile bathing, and lacing cupcakes with her then-husband's sperm before feeding them to school children. The couple were arrested in October 2019 and indicted on 150 charges. And that's according to LivingstonParishNews.com. I'm going to stop right there. I can't read any more of that. All I know is that I agree with the Attorney General, who says that Cynthia Perkins' plea deal spared the victims from reliving her horrific crimes during this particular trial, meaning that they didn't have to testify against her. Thank God. Prosecutors look forward to holding Dennis Perkins accountable for his crimes in the very near future. Guess what? I'm dealing with true crimes myself. I'm looking forward to Dennis Perkins being held accountable, because he needs to be. Who does something like that? I swear before all that is holy, if my mother was alive today, she would call both of them, Cynthia and Dennis Perkins, a couple of nasty buzzards. Me, I can only go as far as calling them what they are: monsters. Monsters. One a former school teacher, the other a former sheriff's lieutenant. You gotta be kidding me. One's duty is to educate children, the other to protect and serve the people, and neither one of them are doing their jobs because of doing monster things like this. Cynthia Perkins, you already got your punishment. 40 years hard labor. You'll be 76 if you're lucky when you get out. Dennis Perkins, you're next. I'm waiting for the trial. I'm waiting to see what goes down later this year because you deserve nothing. No, actually, you deserve hard labor too. Yeah, you deserve hard labor too. Or better yet, no. That's disgusting even for him. I would say let the punishment fit the crime, but that's disgusting even for him. Yeah, you and your ex-wife will be in the right place. Both of y'all sitting behind bars doing hard labor. You deserve it. Trust me. Trust me, you deserve it. So I'll be looking forward to seeing what happens with this case. Wow. Of all things to cover, I covered that. Anyway, that's all I got from Bethea's Byte this time around. I want to thank you all for joining me. Thank you once again to Cat 8 Canary. Thank you, JS for Justice, for all the information you provided. And thank you all for watching. You guys are a blessing. You are, like I said at the beginning, you are what keeps Bethea's Byte running. Please, those of you who are watching this video, once again, if you like what you see and what you hear, well, if you don't like what you see and what you hear, but you want to see justice done, click the like button, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications for future videos, and guess what? You get to see my pretty mug. I'm kidding, but you'll get to see my face delivering news, delivering my opinions, praying for a good, lively debate, and waiting to hear your voice on these topics. That's what Bethea's Byte is all about. It's not just a slogan. It's how I roll. News, opinions, debates, your voice. This is Bethea's Byte. I'm Ernest Bethea, the Last Outlaw. Thank you so much for joining me. Until next time, you all know what to do. And the monsters, the Ferriters, the Perkinses, and all the monsters just like you all know what to do. Bite this. This is the home for news, opinions, debates, and your voice. This is Bethea's Byte.